Now it's time to meet our Lifetime Achievement Award winner. For more than a decade, BizTimes Media has recognized southeastern Wisconsin's most accomplished entrepreneurs with our annual Lifetime Achievement Award. This award recognizes those with a long track record of building businesses that shape our region's economy, provide jobs to hundreds, if not thousands of people, create value for themselves and others, and give back to the community. Previous Lifetime Achievement Award honorees have included iconic area business leaders like Michael Cudahy of Marquette Electronics, Stephen Marcus of the Marcus Corporation, Robert Kern of Generac, and George Dalton of Fiserv. This year, we are proud to add Jerry Jendusa to our list of Lifetime Achievement Award winners. Now, Jerry doesn't really like to be referred to as a serial entrepreneur, but he has a passion for entrepreneurship, having been a highly successful one and also having supported many other entrepreneurs in the area. He co-founded MTech in 1995, a New Berlin-based manufacturer of aircraft interior and exterior lighting systems and aircraft cabin management and power systems. He grew the business into a $100 million company and sold it in 2014. After the sale of MTech, he then co-founded BreakthrU Coaching to provide business advisory services to help other entrepreneurs with their business ventures. Jerry is also now majority owner and chairman of Muskego-based biotech company Zyogenics, which this year was recognized as one of the 50 fastest growing companies in southeastern Wisconsin. He has also been a fixture as a mogul on the TV show Project Pitch It, a local version of ABC's Shark Tank, providing Jerry with another venue to support other Wisconsin entrepreneurs. So, in recognition of his accomplishments as an entrepreneur and his years of work to help other entrepreneurs in southeastern Wisconsin, please welcome Jerry Jendusa, our 2023 Lifetime Achievement Award winner.
Lifetime Achievement Award. It's not fair. Dan, we're going to call it a half of a Lifetime Achievement Award. We're definitely not done yet. Hey, everybody, let's clap for the state of Wisconsin. On the count of 1, 2, 3, clap. The Milwaukee region on the count of 1, 2, 3, clap. This is a great place. This is a great state. Hey, we have David Gruber in the audience tonight. David Gruber, stand up. Come on, David. We filmed Project Pitch It yesterday, and David wasn't on the set, and it's the best damn show we ever filmed. Steven is one good-looking kid, and he's really smart. Beverly Greenberg, please stand. Sometimes I get in trouble and I say that she's my most favorite person in the whole wide world, and I forget that I'm married to Becky. Jendusa Smith family, please stand. You know, entrepreneurialism, it first starts with your family, and then it goes to your family of companies, and then it goes to the community, it goes to your stakeholders, it goes to all your customers. And so I'm very blessed to be up here with a lot of great people. We talked only about Zyogenics. There's another female CEO in the room. Her name is Rachel Barr. She was voted to be the next Jerry Jendusa back like in 2006. I'm like, good luck with that, Rachel. Good luck with that. Mark Seapluck used to work with me at a company called MTech, and he runs a company called Vendura Industries in Madison, Wisconsin, and that guy dresses up as a turtle. Think about that. Why in the heck would you dress up as a turtle, Mark? Because it gets the job done. Dare to dream, dare to be different. Everybody doesn't have to wear a suit. Think about that. Savannah Bananas. Anybody know the Savannah Bananas? Nathan Jendusa toured the Savannah Bananas. They have a guy by the name of Jesse Cole that dresses up as a banana. And he says baseball is weird and baseball is boring. When you think of entrepreneurship, what do you think about? Somebody yell it out. What do you think about? Loneliness, risk, sadness, sorrow, passion, purpose. What else? Thought leader. To me, it's one word. It's growth. And anybody in this room can be an entrepreneur. Oftentimes when you think of businesses, and sometimes the entrepreneurs in this room, you have to be careful because you get a lot of smoke blowing up your, right? Adrian, a little bit? He is one crazy dude with a coffee. If you guys will have 100, how much is it for a franchise? 120 for a franchise? More than that. 250,000 for a franchise. See Adrian Deasy, he's taking orders today. Tenacious, persistence, passion. Transformational, think of that. Transformational leadership. But when you grow things, oftentimes people talk about me growing this company called MTech. And it surely wasn't me. And I'll say, number one, I went to UWM. Anybody here from UWM? Raise your hand. Love the school. It's a great school. I was not a good student. I hardly went to class. They had these syllabuses, those little yellow books that you could go and you could quick take your test on. Being an entrepreneur is not about where you went to school. It's about who you are as a person and what you believe in. And then also, you think about people having to believe in you. I think it starts with you believing in yourself. And so first, and you get a little corny and say, hey, first you have to love yourself, and then you can love others. You got to trust yourself, then you can trust others. You have to trust a process. And it's not just a process, that's for the engineers in the room, it's a guideline. And then you have to think about transforming things. So me, I've analyzed myself over and over again. Hired my best friend, and I used to say, Paul, we hired you, and actually you weren't my best friend, you're a second best friend. Hoppy was probably the first best friend. Oh, and even before we started MTech, Matthew Hoppy. What business did we start? We cleaned nursing home floors, so I didn't have to work for my dad, who had a pharmacy called Jendusa Pharmacy. And we used to sneak beer in through the chutes, drink some beer and wax some floors, put a proposal together. Didn't know how to operate the machine, so that kind of stuff goes too. Laughter. Having fun. Being an entrepreneur is really lonely. There's a lot of pressure. But then it's not just being an entrepreneur, it's being a CEO, it's being a president, it's being a leader. And it is lonely at the top. The more money you make, the more lonely it gets, the more pressure you feel. You have a board of directors, some of those types of things. So the more you as people know who you are, and you understand who you are, then you realize who can help you because you have a lot of limitations. So me, Rachel and I would joke about this, but I am a total whip. Does anybody know what a whip is? Manufacturers should know what a whip is. Work in process, work in progress. Got to pick the right partner. There's a lot of buzzwords, right? I used to talk about a partner, and my wife Becky would go, oh my God, you're not talking about me, you're talking about Jim Harasha. That's a little weird. So then you have a visionary and you have an integrator, so you have somebody who can help because we can't do everything. And so I would be analyzing, they say, okay, you're futuristic, you're restless, you're a pioneer, you're a visionary, what else am I? You're discerning, you're galvanizing if it's the latest working genius, you're all these different things, but there's a lot of stuff that I'm not. And then you get a lot of advice from people. And as entrepreneurs, you want to take all that advice. Sometimes it's the advice that you don't take that's the best advice. Because everybody wants to be a mentor, or I'm talking to my mentor. I don't even like to mentor other people. I mean, I'll give people some ideas and some tips, but just think about that. Listening, the ability to listen, the ability to want to learn. It's about continuous improvement. So a Lifetime Achievement Award, I'm learning from everybody in this room. I learned from Jonathan what we're doing at BreakthrU Leadership University. I learn from these guys. I learn from my kids. I learned from Ava. and she's a senior at McGuanago High School who's so gifted and talented. I learned from Sydney, who gives me an opportunity to do magical things. And her brother Jack was almost on Project Pitch It, and damn it, he didn't make it. And Sydney has a successful story with her father, and his name is Jeff. And what did Jeff do, and how their family lives somewhere. And you think I'm rambling, but I am rambling, but I'm trying to make some points here. Becky says I ramble all the time. But then you have these trials, you have these tribulations. And so I'll tell you a little bit about the one story that's the biggest story, but we're not done yet, and we've got a lot of other stories we're still doing. Oh, UWM is in the room. But we've got Zyogenics, we've got Vendura, we've got Ardent, we've got BreakthrU Leadership University. We're into developing talent, and those are some really wonderful things. Philanthropically, this team does some amazing things with what happens with the Project Pitch It, what happens with Make-A-Wish, what happens with mental and behavioral health with Children's of Wisconsin. Jason is a great producer of that show, Project Pitch It. All of the wonderful people. We've got the president of the Admirals in the room. Why did he win the award? He's older than I am, for Christ's sakes. Pretty cool. So the one story is called MTech, and that story started in a basement in Wind Lake, and it started in 1996. And it started with a loan, a small business authority loan for $250,000, $120,000 of family and friend money. There's an investor in the room. Anybody in the room that are private wealth managers, raise your hand. Raise your hand, come on, there's a couple in the room. Any other ones? No? Brent Jones, you got to talk to that guy because he is loaded. 3% investor, 25 grand, with a business that sold for a god-awful a lot of money. Like, why in the heck did it sell for so much money? I don't know. And we had a really special culture. And that business grew, and it grew magically. It grew from a basement with somebody who's no longer here today. He used to work for Gulfstream Aerospace, and he just gave me an idea. He said, hey, Jerry, if you ever can figure out a way to replace fluorescent tubes in airplanes, you should do it. When I was working for a different company called ECS, I put it in the back of my mind, hired a guy by the name of Carl Scheibengraber, paid him 10 grand. We were in Muskego. We're back in Muskego now because we're not done yet, Dan. We're not done yet. But for $10,000, we looked at a couple different things, came up with a couple different ideas, and that stuff doesn't happen overnight. Adrian's feeling it right now with Octane Coffee. Things take a lot longer. So then you have to cash flow, you have to manage your cash flow, you have to do some of those things. And then as you add that staff and that wonderful staff, and then shit happens, right? So you have to deal with that. 9/11 happens and you're in aerospace. Twin Towers. Nathan was a baby, and it was like, oh my God, what are we gonna do? We got staff all over the world. Are they okay? What are we gonna do with the business? So you gotta fight through that. So, and people use the word grit a lot and all these things now, and it's true. 2008, 2009, 2010, we had a revenue projection from 72 million to 92 million, and we went down to 55 million at an NBAA show in the matter of 1 month. But it takes humility, and it takes like, hey, I don't know what to do. I've never been a CEO before. I just need your help. So those types of things, not necessarily having a corner office. We have a building right now where the best office in our building, we call it the corner office, but nobody sits there. It's a collab space. People are like, why isn't your office there? I'm like, that's the best office in the building. That's where we sat that one time. But when you do these types of things, we developed a Q University through Paul's vision in 2006 so we could understand ourselves. I mean, to tell you how bad I was at certain things, I wanted to fire everyone and quit. Because I was expecting people to be more like me. So I had to learn who I was as a person. But as you do those things, we once had a business that went out of business, so we set up a company in Brazil because they went out of business. It was called American Brazilian Ambra Solutions. We once bought a business called ACSNAI, and Lane Helms and his family members, we had to exit the whole family. It's terrible, really hard. It's like picking flies, the wings out of flies, like you love doing that. And Lane is like, hey, you caused a lot of domestic tranquility problems in my home. Like, dude, you just got $4.8 million and your kid said he doesn't like HR and he's the HR manager. That's a problem. But as you put people in the right roles, there's a guy by the name of Udaya Silva, who came in, and he was the guy who was the biggest turd to me. What are you doing? I'm this US guy. I know nothing about hockey. And I'm up with is it the Winnipeg Bombers? No, that's football. What is it? Winnipeg Jets. And finally I had to wear the jersey of the Jets because I'm this American going up there. But by putting somebody in the right role, it wasn't me. That business grew from $300,000 profit to well over $2.8 million of profit in 5 years. Or buying a business. I first met my wife by asking her for a pay-to-stay agreement in Montana at a company called Cable Technologies. And this is well before we were married. But that human being, that wonderful human being, had to help shut down a facility, and Boeing was our largest account. And they're like, there's no way you can do this. And how are you going to do it? I'm like, well, we're going to do it. And we're going to give each one of those employees, as we go to shut it down, some cash. And then we're going to look at opening up a facility for MTech Montana, but maybe it's going to be in Mexico, maybe it's going to be in North Carolina, but no, we're going to choose to do it back in Montana and hire some of these people that we laid off. So that's like some of the hard stuff. And oftentimes we talk about that, the good stuff. But if you can enjoy that and you realize that every problem is an unforeseen opportunity, and you can just tell that to yourself over and over again, then it's not just manifesting it, it comes to be true. But that whole process and that discipline and that management and that leadership that goes with it, those fierce conversations that you have to move people into different roles, that's how the magic happens. High-performing teams don't just take place overnight. And it's really tough discussions. But the joy is in that. That's that passion and the joy. And all of the entrepreneurs that are here, you are really crazy, crazy people. You really are. But when I think of entrepreneurialism, just to recap that, it's about growth. And when you grow things, you're innovating, right? Sometimes when the government gets involved, I'm not going to go political on you, Dan, but sometimes when the government gets involved, you're manufacturing jobs. Versus when you innovate, you're actually creating jobs. And this region is a magical region, the state of Wisconsin. The universities that we have here are amazing. And sometimes it's easy to point the finger. When I talk to business owners, what do you think they say the number one problem is with their companies? Talent, workforce, their people. And I'll say, well, who hired those people? Did you hire those people? I mean, we can sit there and we can complain about them, but who actually hired those people? You did. Everybody now put up your hands like this. We're going to all go like this. Come on, Marty, you can do it too, for cripe's sakes. Not all 5 fingers, just like this. That's called untapping the human potential. in all of you. And if there was one thing that I was able to do, it was that. You know, if you really think of it, and that actually makes me sad. We all have gifts. I'm thinking of the kid with autism. And my good friend Sean Eichhorst. I don't know why I'm getting emotional. No, and I apologize for that. No, we had somebody on this Project Pitch It filming show, and the mom created a business for the daughter who's autistic and named the daughter the CEO, who's a junior in high school. And because she doesn't fit in, like, who doesn't fit in? Dare to dream, dare to be different, dare to be unique. Wear the damn Benny the Turtle suit. Like, literally. Where's Sam Hoffman? Where's our woo? I did invite him. I texted him. That son of a he never shows up. All you got to do is show up. He's working. No, but anyway, look at, you know, can you imagine working for me, the roller coaster? So I cried, I swore, I got people to laugh a little bit, I wandered around in a circle, and now we're having an organizational clarity blitz tomorrow. Good luck, Ariel, with what you're getting involved in. But no, so in all seriousness, you have these people and you have this talent, and everyone is involved with growth. And that's why I don't necessarily like being called an entrepreneur. It's just you want to grow. You want to try some new things. So if you've never waxed a nursing home floor before and you figure it out and you do it with really, really good people like Uncle Matt, you make it happen. You get it done. And that's what this is all about. And John giving you a chance to work with us, you're going, okay, Jerry, I don't know about this. We're developing an app together. Well, you're going to do it. And Sydney, you're going to help draft a book, and you're a junior and an entrepreneurial student at UWM, and I tease about the school. So that's just how that happens. And now we got to get to work with the Make-A-Wish stuff because we got the free throws we got to make. We got to set some goals. We got to follow up and then get that cadence going. So all of you in the room, you're all blessed to be in the state of Wisconsin. So thank you so much.